Does this home have the best main living area in Austin, Texas? You tell me. In this video, I'm walking you through one of the newest model homes built by GFO, and buyers who love modern homes with tall ceilings and windows everywhere are raving about this floor plan. Now, this is the Harrison plan built by GFO Homes. With the structural upgrades shown in this plan, we're over 3,600 square feet. We have 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, and right when we walk through the front door, as you'll see here, we are open to the second story. And you're gonna hear those words often throughout this tour, open to the second story, because this plan has tall ceilings and windows everywhere. Now, if you like views, I will show you some view lots later on in the video, and I'll also show you this floor plan for sale in this neighborhood. If you like the idea of building from scratch, I will talk about my client's experience building a 4,700 square foot home with GFO later on in the video. I'll tell you right now, this is a big reason why they decided to build with GFO. It's like floor plans like this that open up so well and just leave so much room for incredible design to be put on the interior of the home. Now, you're gonna see that design starting here in the kitchen, and while you get a glimpse of this view off the windows, off the back wall, let me introduce myself. My name is Raj Sahu. I'm a realtor in Austin, Texas, and I've represented clients with 20 different builders. So I'm gonna give you the perspective of touring these homes with so many different buyers. And I'll tell you right now, when they walk through kitchens like this, they stop right here at these waterfall countertops and look at this stark contrast with the black countertop and the white veins running through it. I also think when we turn around in a second, you'll see the white chairs match up with those white veins. And above this 5-burner gas stovetop, this kitchen backsplash just continues that white and black theme that's in this kitchen. Now, to warm up this space, take a look at the cabinet color and this beautiful designer vent hood. And did you notice as my video went up, the cabinet color changed? That often happens with every video. I don't care what camera you use. And so I often find myself telling my clients, with most of them being out of state looking to move to Austin, is do not use video as a way to understand the shade of a color. You might be able to get away with it, like with this apron sink that flows really well with the countertop, but most of the time you'll get in trouble. And I always tell people, use my videos as a way to understand the feeling that you get when walking through these homes. Like, take a look at this shot looking up from the kitchen island. I absolutely love that accent wall on either side of that fireplace. In fact, I have so many clients that have done a fireplace with a tile going all the way up to the ceiling that's open to the second story in their living room. And the next client that decides to do that, I can't wait to send this as an example of something fun they can do on either side of that fireplace. Now, we will get back out to that living room. I'm also going to show you some view lots coming up here in a second. I do want to comment about this pantry. It does wrap around behind that door. Even though I'm not a huge fan of pocket doors, this could be a good opportunity for a pocket door there. But not all builders provide that, because sometimes there's some different framing that they have to do around that area, and some builders just elect not to do that. Let me know what you think about that, and let me know what you think about this and this incredible light fixture. It grabs your attention as soon as you walk out to this main living area, and your eyes just start to go everywhere when you enter this living room, simply because you have that accent wall on the left side next to that fireplace that I've mentioned before. Then your eyes go up to that light fixture that's beautiful. Your eyes go out the sliding glass doors and all the windows to the beauty that's here in the Austin metro area. And then your eyes go right to all those upgrades that we just detailed in the kitchen. And I find when buyers enter a main living area and their eyes go everywhere, the next words out of their mouth are, wow, this home feels so large. Now, you might be thinking, well, the reason is obvious. It's because this living room and kitchen and breakfast nook area is large. But I have to give you a different perspective. After walking these types of homes with hundreds and hundreds of buyers, and actually walking this home while it was under construction with just cabinets in it, but didn't have countertops, it didn't have any of these fun design elements in it. I've actually walked this with a buyer and they said, oh, I was hoping this main living area to feel a little bit bigger. And then we walked it when it was finished, and they said, oh, it looks completely different. And I told them when we were walking it at that stage of construction, I told them, hey, the disclaimer here is that it's going to feel tighter without any natural light coming in, with everything a mess, it's under construction, and no design to look around to, it's always going to feel tighter. So my point is, design really matters. And you see that right here in the primary bedroom with this beautiful light fixture, the accent wall behind the bed, and this view that's off the back windows is incredible. Now, I want to throw this out there. This is a model home. It's not for sale, and there will be neighbors behind this specific home. But again, if you like views, you like the idea of a greenbelt lot, I'll show you some lots coming up here in a second. But first, you'll want to see this primary bathroom, because I find so many buyers love the bathrooms that are in floor plans offered by GFO Homes. Now, I think it's easy to fall in love with all the tile that's in this bathroom. Like, take a look at that wall tile, scaling that entire wall behind the freestanding tub. You have vanities on either side. You have a very cool accent wall. I'll show you in a second on the left side. But what I'm actually very confused by is the staging that's in here. So behind me, I'm going to show you in a second, 2 chairs with a stand in between them. And when I first entered this bathroom and I saw that, I had to ask myself, are people hanging out in their primary bathroom, like taking a seat maybe after they get out of the freestanding tub? And I'm not even joking either. I'm not passing judgment. If you're somebody who wants to hang out there after a shower and after you get out of the tub, I want to hear from you in the comments. And then if you disagree with that and say that there should never be chairs in the primary bathroom, I also want to hear from you in the comments. Let's start a debate. Moving on, I do love this freestanding tub. I have a lot of buyers that do this in their primary bathroom. I really do think it opens up the space well. And I also think this helps when you have a gigantic walk-in shower that has 2 windows looking out to the other side of the primary bathroom. Now, we also had a rain shower and also that wall tile that you see there. Usually that type of tile is going to come with a hefty price tag. There's definitely a lot of variance when it comes to tile prices, but the smaller tile, generally speaking, especially that much going on a wall, it's going to come with a very large price tag. So keep in mind, this is a model home. They tend to put in an above average amount of upgrades in this home. And so I always tell clients, be careful when walking through these model homes. Don't fall in love with one single item. Instead, fall in love with design from a color scheme standpoint or understanding the patterns that you really like. And sometimes you can take a tile and take that color and accomplish it for a less expensive tile that might just be like a bigger rectangular tile or something like that. Moving on, we also have the primary closet that we were just in, and it does have a doorway that leads to this utility room. So if you're somebody that's in a home right now and you are tired of picking up your laundry and taking it throughout your home to your utility room, that's how we build homes here in Texas. I find this was an option that started to come up maybe 4 to 5 years ago, and then I started seeing it almost on 80-90% of floor plans that could accomplish it, because that's it's a first world problem, you know, holding your laundry and going through your home, but nobody wants to tour their laundry throughout their home. It's nice to just have that doorway going right from your primary closet to your utility room. Now we're gonna head outside next, and I can't wait for you to see the patio because there is a bit of a surprise that's there, which I'll point out in a second. And while we head out there, I do want to let you know that we are in one of the newest communities in Leander, Texas, and that's called Bluffview Reserve. Now, if you are familiar with this area, you might have heard of another community called Bluffview, where through the pandemic, there was a wild amount of bidding for lots with a couple of different builders. Well, this is the community that's right next door to that community. And why I think things got very aggressive in that community, one of the reasons was the beauty that's on the southern end of this neighborhood. Now, here's a surprise. The ceiling height does pitch upward. I love these beautiful beams on the back porch. Just adds that character element that so many people are looking for on their back patio. But that hillside on the back of the neighborhood, or I should say the southern part, is so beautiful. And the community of Bluffview, through the pandemic, people just drive through the main road that looked out to that hillside, and they would just say, wow, this really captures the beauty that's here in Austin. And I think people are saying the same thing in Bluffview Reserve. As soon as you pull into the main road, you get hit with that hillside and the beauty that's here. And if you like beauty, you want to back up to a greenbelt, let me show you one of those in this community. Now, I talk about tall ceilings and windows quite a bit in my videos, and the reason is for lots like this. I'm standing in one of the lots that you can build a Harrison plan or other plans with GFO Homes that back up to Greebelts and that capture the beauty that's here in the Austin metro area. So keep watching, back to the video. Now we're gonna get back to the front of the home. There's still a lot to see here, like a study, a bedroom, a second bedroom downstairs, and wait until we get upstairs where they have a game room and a media room. But one thing I wanna comment on is when I was outside in that lot shot, I'm doing that video in the beginning of March. And it was a beautiful day for it, 75 degrees. And I remember getting back into my car and I got a text from my brother who lives in the middle of Pennsylvania. And he said, we just got snow. And he sent me a picture of 1 inch of snow in his backyard. And it blew my mind. Not because I was surprised. I actually grew up in Pennsylvania, so I'm well aware of the snow that we get up in the northern states. But it blew my mind because I forgot. I forgot what that was like to have snow still lingering in January, February, or maybe even March. And so while we look at this powder bathroom, and behind us, that was the utility room that had the laundry that we showed before from the primary closet. I want to tell you, if you're watching this from the northern states and you're thinking about moving here, you live in Chicago, you live in Boston, you live in Seattle, give me a call or shoot me a text introducing yourself because we should get on the phone. I have so many stories to share with you of clients that have moved here from those cities or from those different states like California or the high tax northern states where we get a lot of snow, and their experiences of living here. The stories are just incredible. And while we look through this second bedroom downstairs that does have an in-suite full bathroom, I just want to finish this thought by saying that I had a client that moved here from Boston. And when we first Zoomed, we met each other virtually. We just clicked. And he mentioned that he loved my YouTube channel and the videos that were here. He's sending them to all of his friends. But most importantly, he was telling all of his friends that he was moving to Austin. He was out of Boston. He was tired of the snow. He told me a story that he couldn't even check his mail at his mailbox for 6 weeks because the postman would not go across the icy road, so you just had to pick up your mail at the post office. He also mentioned his parents from India refused to visit him in Boston because there was only like 1 or 2 months out of the year where they could make it out to that area where the weather wasn't so cold. And he said he had such a huge need to come to Austin, and when he did move to Austin, he had 12 to 15 people, all from his neighborhood that's just outside of Boston, that, by the way, had great schools, very livable, new build neighborhood, and they all moved to Austin, and it's because they love the lifestyle that's here. Now, the weather isn't always great. It's not always 75. We do get some brutal summers, but there are solutions to that, like flying to Colorado or doubling down on the heat, going down to the beaches in Mexico. And there's so many things I can share with you. But my point is there are so many reasons why people are moving to this area. And that's one of the main ones, especially in this area where, again, it's so beautiful. And you have homes like this where if you work from home, you're in tech. Imagine being in this study. I'm not sure about that accent wall with the birds. I actually think that's kind of cool. It does provide a different element in there, but there's a lot of personal preference with accent walls. But either way, you get this open concept home. You have the study right here on the left side as soon as you enter the front door. You got that second bedroom downstairs on the right side. Everything is very private from each other. And then you get these grand entrances. And I absolutely love that accent wall along this staircase. Actually have a client who's doing that in their home that's just north of this community, and I can't wait to see that put in. But you get this combination of privacy through all these rooms and open concept, tall ceilings in the main living areas. And I love that combination, especially when you get to the top of this stairwell. Take a look at how large this living room feels from this view. Now, I will say that dining area in the back, that round table does take up a lot of room. If you had more of a rectangular table, I think it would show a little bit more room in that area. But if you're somebody who values dining and you're okay with going with more square footage, there's a plan that one of my clients just closed on, and I'm going to be doing a video of their home in the next couple of weeks. Wait for that. They have a huge dining area. They have so many rooms, and they have nothing but tall ceilings, just like this plan does in the main living area. Now, here's going to be a good look at the game room where they went all out on wallpaper. I've been seeing this often in so many model homes. Wallpaper has definitely come back. Let me know what you think about wallpaper in general. And I'll tell you what buyers think about media rooms. I have had so many buyers ask about a media room upgrade. The idea of having an upstairs enclosed area to make this into a theater room or a hangout area that's separate from the main living area. Because notice that game room isn't directly overlooking the living room. I think it is far off, but definitely if you're hanging out in this game room, you might be able to hear that down below. But with that media room, you close the doors, you have a perfect enclosed space upstairs. So if you have kids, they want to hang out up there, they want to spend time, they want to be rowdy, they can go there. If you're watching a ball game and somebody's downstairs cooking and both people want to feel a little bit of privacy in their home, it's so nice to have that media room that you can enclose. And by the way, that was a smooth transition by my videographer, Marc, who's trying to avoid putting his reflection in the mirror. But shout out to Marc. I love the footage that he's been providing. And obviously I walk all these homes, but I don't always have time to tour them when it's sunny out and I want to capture it when it has this great natural light coming in. So Marc's done a great job of capturing these beautiful homes. And that's actually what I want to talk about here in a second. And then I'll talk about my experience with having a client build from scratch with GFO. Now, I do want to say we have 3 bedrooms up here with 2 full bathrooms. So one of those bathrooms is accessible from the hallway. And then the other one you'll see in a second is in between the other 2 bedrooms. Now, while we go through this, I did want to talk more about videos because speaking about my videographer, it just brought up something that a lot of people are looking for, especially when they're located out of state. Or I literally just got off the phone with somebody who's moving down from Dallas because they're in tech and they like the idea of the tech growth here and the beauty that's here in Austin. So they preferred to move to Austin. And what I always tell people is, first off, I did these videos a few years ago because I didn't know if anybody was going to reach out to me. I just did them because I wanted to provide value to people who are watching. And I also knew that if I forced myself to talk through these videos, I'm going to memorize all the floor plans. I'm going to figure out what's good about them. And I'm even going to be able to hold on to what's bad about them. So when people consult with me, I can tell them the pros and I can tell them the cons. But most importantly, I can also just tell them right away what their options are because I know all of them. They're all memorized, and every now and then there's new plans that come up and I go right over to that builder and I'm excited. They usually email me now and they want the videos of the new model home on my channel. And that's exciting because that definitely did not happen in the beginning. Nobody knew anything about this YouTube channel. But my point in sharing that with you is I do all of that, or did all of that, in the beginning because I wanted to be the best realtor for people who were looking at these types of homes. And that meant when people reach out to me and maybe their criteria fit something else that I wasn't that well versed in, I wasn't afraid to refer them to another realtor or connect them with one of my realtor partners. I've actually done that with my own first cousin. I've done that with my brother-in-law, not because I didn't want to work with them. I just felt like there was a realtor who was a better fit for what they needed. Now, fast forward a few years and now 98% of my clients come from YouTube. And I love that because I'm working with the clients who I know I can provide max value to. I know these plans inside and out. And if you're wondering what the best options are and what the bad options are, I can't say those bad options publicly. That would burn bridges with everybody that I have, and I just can't do that. But when you work with me directly, I'm not afraid to give you that unbiased perspective on what's a good option and what's a bad option. And now we can even take it a step further where when we're looking at lots, I'll go out and I'll put my drone up in the air to show what a view looks like for a lot, or I'll have my videographer do that. And we have just taken everything to the next level. So if you want to know what that looks like, the buyer board that I build out for all clients, that is powered through Trello. So if you're familiar with Trello, it's a software platform that helps keep everything organized. I'll show you what we do with Trello, which I think is so helpful. And then if you're wondering what it's like to build with GFO, I will tell you, we had a great amount of options at their design studio. I think you can kind of see that here in this model home. There were some options that we did entertain to do after closing, and my clients did maybe a couple of those items. So if you want to know what that looks like, definitely reach out to me. I can guide you through that. But overall, they were pleased with the amount of options that were in that design studio. And one thing I want to clarify is I mentioned bidding. That was during the pandemic, and that was the neighboring community. We don't really have that anymore. I just spoke to my client who sold their home in Seattle that's moving to Austin. And in Seattle, their home for sale got 22 offers. We really don't have that happening here from a new construction standpoint. So rest assured, you can come to Austin. There are lots of options. It's just a question of figuring out what's the best option for you. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. What did you think of the Harrison plan and the tall ceilings in that main living area? Now, if you want to see a home for sale with GFO, just stick with me. I'll show you that in a second. If you want to understand what pricing looks like in the Austin metro area, that's going to be on my website, where I show homes that are coming up for sale or that are available right now. And it's all pricing, showing you the final prices with each of these builders. So click on the link at the top of the description of my video, and that will take you to all the pricing that you need. If you need help navigating through the market, my number's at the bottom of the description of this video. And finally, if you want to see that home for sale with GFO that I've been talking about throughout this video, go ahead and click right here. Hope this helps. Take care.